And the reason that you had to care, traffic is stuck.
Hey!
You're not moving.
All right, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's a Friday. Friday the what? Friday the fun day. Friday's a fun day with Finlandia. Hey, it's Friday, May 18th, 2018. You ready to do some Forex? Let me get the YouTube page up so I can see the chat. Now, I encourage everyone to ask questions today, be involved. Get involved, be involved. So ask questions in the chat. I also request that you do a like, just to let me know that we're covering the right things. Other than that, let me just remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results, but it's always a good idea to stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne McDonald. It's really nice to meet you. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com, and I will be your guide through this hour and 20-minute journey. Today we'll be able to do lots of things like technical analysis, fundamental analysis, and everything else in between. We are going to cover dollar pairs, we're going to cover yen pairs, we're going to cover commodity pairs and commodities like gold and oil. And the Europeans got together in Bulgaria and fixed their problems. Yay! Cool. So we got lots to be thankful for. So anyways, thank you very much for being a client to Traders Way. We appreciate you. We want you to succeed. As I explained yesterday, it's a symbiotic relationship. Our business model only works if you succeed. And we like it that way. So thank you very much for the loyalty and respect that you show me every day. Question already. Martin says, question, if you hit the monthly M4 early in the week, you got a good chance of returning to the monthly pivot? Wait. Okay, wait. If you hit M4 early, so what you mean is early in the month. You have a good chance of returning to the monthly. Does that all? Well, you say MM4, that means monthly M4. So what you mean is WM4. Okay, yeah, okay. So yes, well, they're all valid, Martin. Think of it that way. The monthly pivots are valid. The monthly pivots have their strategy. Yeah. The weeklies have theirs, the dailies have theirs. They're all valid and they're all likely to work to some degree. Right? So it's kind of, that's where the finesse comes in. So if you hit your weekly target, but the monthly target is just a little bit further up, it'll probably still stretch up and then come back down and then follow a weekly pattern. But I think generally what you're asking me, if you hit weekly M4 early in the week, do you have a good chance of returning to the weekly central pivot? Yes. Does that also work on monthly and dailies? Yes. Okay. But remember, don't force the trade into that. Remember that if something is completed, because I consider that a completed pattern, really. All right. So if you're hitting your weekly or monthly or daily target early in that period, does it have a propensity to head back to the central? Yeah, but I would also say it's less likely on the daily because whatever powers are making the weekly work are going to overwhelm the daily one, especially if the daily already works. So I wouldn't get too caught in it, in a sense, Martin, because you're looking at it, it's really a counter trend trade, and it's sort of like a secondary trade. It's not really what you're looking for. I'd rather you be in the trend that hits the target early than trading against the really strong trend. Okay, David asked a great question following up from yesterday. Thank you, guys. In part 3 of the 1, 2, 3 pattern, which we had over here, I did for you guys yesterday. So now the higher low. How do you get in here? Any way you can. And there's no wrong answer. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, let's see. Okay, 1 minute's a little ridiculous. All right, let's do it this way. Okay, so how do you get in here? You could just simply buy the touch. You could buy the first engulfing candle. You could buy the 5A cross. You could buy an oscillator cross. I don't have one here, but let's say you're using the stochastics set at 853. You could do it that way. The CCI, or an RSI, an ADX, whatever makes you feel like this retracement has completed. Okay. Okay, that gives you a lot of flexibility, David, right? And you're like, well, Wayne, I'd like a more solid answer. Well, what it comes down to is it really doesn't matter at that point. The point is you've already done the double bottom, higher high. Buy it any way you can. You could even cut your lot size small and buy a little at the 3A2, buy a little more at the 50%, buy a little one at the 618. Yeah, but that's the least interesting of the whole process. It doesn't really even matter. Imagine all you did now, David, was you consistently waited for double bottoms and higher highs or double tops and lower lows. And then this pullback idea is your sort of your freedom. So you're not so rules-based, so structured, so mechanical. You just simply waited for a pullback. Right. And then, of course, you have this idea where you're only trading reversal patterns at obvious support levels of support and resistance. Your trading is going to improve. How far below the double bottom? Again, that's going to be subjective. Every single trade is going to be different. So you want to keep it obviously below this. Okay. You want to look at psych levels. You want to look at other pivot points, that kind of stuff. You understand that? So the bigger the stop, the better per se. But then the bigger the stop, the smaller the lot size. Morning. Yeah, again, that's not an easy answer. How far below that? Is it are we looking at a 5-minute chart, or are you doing the same pattern on a 4-hour chart? Well, the 4-hour chart's going to be bigger, right? But the bigger the stop, the smaller the lot. Yeah. All right. Well, great start. Thank you very much for your great questions, guys. It's been sitting there for 4 days. It's like having salad for breakfast. Very nice. All right. Cool. Still nothing to do? Okay. Just not doing much at all. Now, someone might try to trade this like a double bottom or something. I just, maybe not, but let me just also point something out while we're at it, I suppose. A reversal pattern requires a trend. What happens if you get a reversal pattern in here? There's no trend. When the market's moving sideways, there's no trend. All right. So look for tops up here, look for bottoms down here, that kind of thing. There's a man waiting for yeah. More nothing. But it's still more bearish than bullish, right? So I guess we could do it like this. Okay. Do you want to get involved in this? No. Seems forced, right? Seems like a pretty stalled out trade. Yeah, well, Hassan, I don't see any. Okay. Looks like I've been getting out of a hammock. Maybe. I look at this and I try not to see anything. I don't want to talk myself into a trade, right? Okay, that's a day. Let's put this on more hourly. So a price action trader is going to try to sell lower highs, but what about this gray area here at our bottom? So that's talking me out. This is the projected low for the month of May. It's amazing that that's where we consolidated, right? Now, if you're going to try to sell from there, the top for you to sell was actually, wait, no, it was quite a bit higher. So the weekly swing was here. Whereas I did this yesterday too. The weekly swing was this. This is your short zone. Which actually reminds me, are any of my swing traders here from my swing trading group, my Friday group? Hassan, I was fairly successful when I started Forex. So how much money did I start with? Yeah, I don't see that as mattering. But all right, okay, a few of okay, good guys. I felt like, especially with our Aussies on the team, that we're starting too late. So let's start today's session like at somewhere between 9 and 9:30. Let's start earlier. Okay, swing traders. So basically, after this webinar, take a 20-minute break or something, and see if that works better for the rest of the team, if you don't mind. David asks, do I ever use like limit orders, basically? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could do stuff like this where I just say, yeah, sell if you get up there. Okay? So let's do a clean chart so that you can see that better. Okay, so you see I put a trade here. But then what you're going to want to do is, well, what if price comes up and hits this trade and puts you in, but now you're naked? So you're going to want to make sure that you have an auto stop placed with it. And in this case, if price comes up and if hits this right, this limit order, and then it puts me in a short position, then when that's executed, then it'll put a 25 pip stop loss and a 50 pip limit order, or whatever you want. Okay, there's a day trade, for example. So now I have that set. The top corner, you see a little happy face. That means it's working. And now I could go to bed, for example. While I'm sleeping, if price rises, hits this area, or let's change it. How about here? Great. So if price rises overnight, or in this case over the weekend, hits this order, it will put me in and then put a 50 pip stop up here and a 100 pip limit below that. Okay? So yeah, I could do that, David. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. So Jimbo says you could also do it manually, and I haven't done it this way in 1,000 years. Maybe I've never done it this way. So now you got to do what? And by the way, so this is gold. It should be something else. But someone, I forget, but recently I was speaking to somebody and he's like, Wayne, I put a 50 pip stop and I got knocked out like in 1 minute and I don't know what I did wrong. And right. Oh, Jimbo says, just for those who don't have any, well, get the EA. They're free. There's millions of EAs. Just get one. Right? I mean, the easiest way to get one is okay, and change it. Get rid of scripts and get rid of. I guess it's going to be an EA, right? Get rid of the indicator. Auto stops in EA. Yeah. All right. So okay. So in your MT4, there is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of EAs that are totally free. Okay. Hassan says, do I ever trade a Thursday or Friday? I love Thursday and Friday. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. But so now if you want one that is an OCO type thing, you look for them. You're like, Wayne, it's going to take forever. Yeah. Or Google search it or something. But these EAs are free. I don't think I've ever bought an EA. Now, I've maybe had someone custom make one for me, but I don't think I've ever bought someone's. Okay. And you just go through here. Here's a stop loss one. I thought I saw it. Stop loss, mover. I don't know. Just look for an OCO, auto stop, all kinds of things. But anyways, there's no reason why you can't have one, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, Jimbo? Because what I was trying to get to is when you make it this way, and I just spoke to someone just in the last week. And he said, yeah, so I put my stop loss 50 pips above. But what mistake he made was it's fractional pricing. And this is where it sucks, right? Because it didn't used to be this way. Back in the day, there wasn't fractional pricing, right? This is, I don't know, 10 years ago, there wasn't fractional pricing. So 50 pips was 50 pips. But now there's an extra digit. It's not just 75.14, it's 75.14.4. So that you can get a smaller spread. Okay, fine. But now your 50 pips is really should be 500 pips. It should be not just 75.14 plus 50, so 64. No. It has to include this little 7 in there as a 0. So it's not really 50 pips, but now you got to put it in here as 50 pips, and it's so you can make mistakes. And then you got to do this take profit order. When I use the EA, I can go sell, 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 and it goes 1 second later. I got three. I have 3 stops and 3 limits, and I know what pippage they are, and it's done in effortlessly, right? Right. So I just, like I said, I don't think I've actually ever entered an order this way. So what you do, you go pending, at what price? So now you have to manually set a price. Oh, there we go. And then you gotta put a stop and then a limit. Yeah, seems really slow. You wouldn't want to scalp that way. Charles Binder says EAs can help, but they're not a silver bullet. Yeah, they're just a tool, right? It's like buying a shovel and you're like, man, my yard's going to look great now. And you wake up 3 days later and you're like, what the hell is wrong with this shovel? My yard looks the same. Someone says, hey, bro, you're supposed to like step on it and dig some dirt yourself. You're like, what? I thought this was going to fix my yard for me, right? It's just a tool. Like, right? Hassan, I gave you advice yesterday on that. I told you to work 10 years, get a part-time job, build up your trading account. So what percentage risk? 0.000000001. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, crude just having a great one. Although our target is 73. Yeah, but he's got, look, if you got $100, what can you risk less than a penny? I mean, I don't know. But what you should focus on, if you have like $100 or $200, is maybe spend the next 2 years learning how to trade very well, take a part-time job, work nights and weekends, and save money specifically for your trading account 2 years from now. Yeah, Wes has got negative lot sizes. Okay? Right? Because going in with the mentality of you're going to turn nothing into something, it's just not very realistic. Right? And so, but you can be a huge success trading currencies. Right? Right? But I'd rather you focus on improving your situation for 10 years. Okay? Because the big, put it this way, you're probably smart enough to trade, right? So if you give it time, you will be a much better trader in a few years than you are now. So you're capable. You have the opportunity in front of you, and you're capable, right? But I don't know your situation. If you only have like $200 or $300, I don't know if you're 12 or if you're 40. Well, if you're 40 and it's only a few $100, then I would look at Forex as an opportunity to change your life. I don't know how you got yourself in that situation. You're like, well, but I live in Africa or something. All right, well, that's where you were placed. That's the luck of the draw. But you still have Forex in front of you. It seems that you have internet access and a computer. Great, right? You can trade the same thing as me. You have the same access to information as me. You can trade against some guy in Singapore, just like me, or, like it's a global, you have access to the global market. You're not stuck in your little town, in your little village or whatever, right? So you've got the whole world of opportunity in front of you. But you're undercapitalized. So you're like, it'd be like asking me, well, Wayne, what kind of restaurant can I start with $500? Right? Well, you can buy a table and a chair and a plate, I don't know if I'd call it a restaurant. So save your money, right? That's all. I think it's honest, great, good advice. Imagine I work for a broker and I'm telling you, save your money. Think on the long run, right? And I think you can be a huge success. You have everything but money. So get really, really, really good at what you do and get some money. And if you can't save money in a few years, okay, fine. But now you have years of experience. You can show someone, look, I've been trading Forex for 5 years. Take a look at what I'm doing. Get involved. Give me some money, honey. Give me some money, right? Okay? All right. So yeah, let's go back to this. Yeah, 73 is the target. It's been the target for a very long time. So somebody's like, crude is rising quickly or something, but yeah, Mark. Okay, so now Kenny says if you have small amounts of money and you get right a few times, it'll stack up quickly. It's also the thing that will make you lose all your money. It's the mentality. Once you do it, it's like, Kenny, I'm asking you to be disciplined, right? And so when you respond that way, and by the way, I'm not picking on you, but it's just a mentality thing, right? If I say, look, you have to be disciplined, I mean 100% of the time. And your response is more like, well, you could be a little bit pregnant, but then things get better. No, you can't be a little bit pregnant, right? So if you turned your $1,000 into $2,000, what's going to stop you from trying to turn it from 2,000 to 4,000 or 4,000 to 8,000? It's your, right? At some point, you doing that, you'll end up with zero. Yeah. Okay, good, Hassan. You have a long-term focus. Well, risk the absolute minimum you can. And then go get some money. Okay? So I'm trying to teach that you never get yourself in that situation where you're, well, I'll only have $1,000, so I'll turn it into 5,000, then I'll become conservative. Well, that's up to you. It's just, that is the cliche. You're right, and you don't want to be a cliche. So anyways, let's go up to here. The target is 73. So someone said it's going up quite quickly, and I'm like, yeah, well, it's right. It's just sort of doing its thing. I wouldn't call it necessarily quickly, but it's doing its thing. Okay. Would you sell this? No. Would you buy a dip? Yeah. It's getting pretty late in the game though, right? So here's your up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down, down, right? So are you trading this like a breakout? What's your thought? Okay. What are the weekly pivots telling you? What are the monthly pivots telling you? I guess we could throw down like some dailies. Okay. See, I look at that and that doesn't look like it's going up quickly. No, Jacques, but you can email me, but right, but just the words, the language you're using, almost certainly it's not even a fund. It's probably a managed program. No. No. Jacques, there are reasons why there are rules, for example. So, like if you are a fund, you need a qualified investor that can make, that is sophisticated enough to make a decision like that, and then have enough money, right, to make that investment. So one of the things you have to prove to invest in a fund that you've been making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, which is not a lot of money, and that you have a net worth of over $1 million, which is not a lot of money. And then very often a fund will have a minimum of a minimum amount of investment of a few million, just to show that you are indeed that wealthy. When someone has $500 or $1,000, and they don't need an opportunity for someone else to trade their money for them. They need an opportunity to change their life situation. Okay. So, right. You need to change your life situation, not look for a good investment opportunity. So I doubt the fund is a fund at all. So no, don't. All right. So anyways, day trading. Does that look good to you? That looks like it's quite stalled. What about this price action? Dramatic drop, retracement. Not so good, right? So what I would like is, if you're a seller, to sell it, closer to 72, and if you're a buyer, there's nothing even on a 5-minute chart. It's a pretty lame day today. Kenny says, what is the fundamental reason to form a bias on? Central banking policy, and more importantly, future or expected changes in central banking policy. Hang on. So my new office is basically done, but there's still a huge work crew, so I can't move in. Too bad. Okay, so did you get that? What is the fundamental reason to form a bias on? Central banking policy and expected changes in central banking policy. The rest is just news. Okay. So anyway, so I'm trying to change the way that we're looking at oil here. Oil looks kind of flat, doesn't it? So maybe you're not aggressive today. The oil market is open. Okay. And oops, I should go back. How do you want to treat this? Like a lower low, lower high scenario? It's very mediocre. Like, this isn't a good place to buy or sell. If you're aggressively bearish, this is okay. But you already have to be aggressively bearish. Okay? So if you want oil prices to come down, you feel like we've topped out for the month, that's cool. That's fine. That's your point of view. Down, 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 up, up, up. Then yeah, you're going to drop it. You want to be in before 71.50. You should already kind of be in. So you're almost playing it off of this 72, right? So like yesterday, we have this big drop from the target area back to the central. So overnight, like, you should have shorted this first area in here if you're already bear based on this, right? It's just a Fibonacci retracement. That's sort of the 1, 2, 3 we talked about yesterday, right? Double top, lower low, lower high type scenario. Okay. So like that might be your day today. Trade it down to 71, maybe 70 and some change, 70.50 if you're a bear. If you're a bull, I'm just not even excited right now. It's not a great price. It's not a great price action. It's just, there's got to be something better to do today than that. Okay, guys? When do I start planning next month? Oh my gosh, I know what I'm doing in August and September. I know what I'm doing in January. I think the dollar's strong. These guys, right? You guys are noticing that correlations are breaking down. Dollar's strong, but other things are not weak, and they're not doing what they typically do. So you have to say, well, what if it's not dollar strength? What if we see it as dollar strength, but it's not? What if it's the Europeans giving us all the reason in the world to sell their pathetic currency? Remember, about a month ago now, the ECB started talking down the euro. You guys remember that? I was long euro dollar, and it happened in one day, and I'm like, and the euro dollar tanked and knocked me out of a bunch of positions for profit, luckily, right? And then I'm like, whoa, this changes everything because they're talking it down. You know, now we've had this European summit in regards to Italian, government and all that kind of stuff, and it's just more reasons not to own euro, Pete says Pete's a U.S. dollar bear, struggled with euro dollar the last 6 weeks. Is it good that I've broken even pretty much? Yeah, absolutely. That's what you want to do in your trading. Now, it may not feel good over the 6 weeks, right? But what about over the next 100 weeks? What eventually happens is that, assuming you get your fundamentals and all that pulled together, when the market does agree with your bias, you will make money, and it'll seem easy. And then it'll come crashing back down, and you won't make money. And the idea is, if you can trade well enough that you don't lose money when the market disagrees with you, then I think you have the basis of being a very, very successful trader. Okay? And you have to take yourself away from, I didn't make money today, I didn't make enough money today, I didn't make enough money today. Think about, like, you want to talk about hedge funds, right? I often read about, portfolio managers that have like, they're small, they like 500 million, 800 million, that kind of stuff. And, a lot of them, you look at what they're actually doing and they're holding like 12 stocks. And maybe once a year they add one. And maybe once a year they sell something out of their portfolio. And that's it. That's their life. Right? So you ask the guy, so what'd you do today? Nothing. I own a portfolio of 12 stocks. What are you going to do tomorrow? I have nothing planned, bro. Well, when are you going to do something? Well, I have some spreadsheets. I'm looking at some stock. But we're not seriously working on it. We're thinking by the end of the year we might have to book some profit, and then we'll have to buy something. So we're playing around. We got some ideas. Getting my nails done, right? But this is how a lot of funds are run. I mean, they make their investments, right? So anyways, and the point I'm trying to make is we're trying to make money. Like, well, right now, I haven't made money yet. How would you like to wake up in the morning and have already made your money? I mean, so eventually that's where we want to go. And I'm trying to get you into these trends and stuff. So how do you want to trade? This is, to me, the bigger question. And what I've done, if you've forgotten the plan, if you look left, there's something going on to the left. So now you bring that to the right, and we have monthly pivots, and then there's some weekly pivots. I would like to see it kind of move up, and then I'd like to see it move down. So it's not happening, but I have a trade plan here. If euro dollar goes up around this 117.50 price, okay, it's not, but if it does, it'd be really interesting to take it all the way back to 122, and then what? And then probably then back down again. So I'm thinking, if it goes up here, I'm expecting 500 pips. And then when it gets up there, I expect it to stop. So now you have to choose what you want to do every day. Are you trying to pick up the 15 or 20 pips in the volatility of the now, which is fine? Or are you waiting to set up the 500 pip move off the left shoulder? Right? Is this the area? Are you going to buy this? Are you going to buy it and pull this up? Or some combination in the middle, right? And I think for us, we really want a combination, right? So are we at support? Well, there's a pivot in here, isn't there? I've forgotten since yesterday. But anyways, wouldn't it be cool if it did turn and head up soon? Right? And then make a higher low, higher high. If it did that, imagine this is today. Imagine it does this today. And then you see this on Sunday. Could this be Monday's move now? Right? Yeah, it could be, right? So that's what I'm trying to set up. Now, what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to buy a triple bottom? Are you going to wait for it to dip? Are you going to trade on a 15-minute, a 5-minute? Okay. Now, that's all tactical. Okay. That's all tactical. I want you to clearly define your strategy first before you jump into the tactics. Okay? Yeah, FX Forecast says vision is the key, folks, right? Learn you something today. Gather, yeah. But, so someone brought up this fund, which I know just right off the way it was described, it's not a fund. But if you ran a fund, do you think you could raise money without a vision? Like you sit down with a millionaire. This dude could just throw you $1 million like it was ordering coffee. What do you tell this guy that you do? That you bust open a 15-minute chart and try to do a London breakout and blah, 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 blah. Right? Oh, I got some cool tricks. Or do you have a vision? Right? What is your vision for the euro over the next 6 months? What's your vision for the dollar, US dollar, over the next 6 months? Right? And are you trading that vision? I think that's where you want to be, guys. I'm not discounting all the small stuff, but before we dive into there, is this a good place to buy and sell? Give me a solid answer. This euro dollar, is this a good place to buy or sell? Now, Rob says he's still selling, but Rob, I know you know better. It's kind of, by definition, done. Diego says buy, yes, sell, no. Well, even that, you're buying a downtrend. How good could that possibly be? Okay? Maybe, right? So we need to be very definitional here, right? So if you were a bull, and you could clearly explain to a potential investor why you're bullish on euro dollar for all kinds of reasons, right? Is this the pattern that you're looking for? Is that the price? And that's the pattern. Is that the entry? You're like, oh, finally, a lower low. No. So I would rather you spend today and the weekend clearly defining that if you are a bull on euro dollar, what kind of market condition you demand before you buy. And be able to write it down, right? Bust out Google Docs and build a deck. I don't mean a back deck. I mean a PowerPoint presentation. Okay? One slide, I want you to tell me whether you're a bull or a bear. So just be like, bull! Second slide. 4 bullet points on why you're bullish on euro dollar. And then on the next slide, and the next slide, and the next slide, you have 3 different scenarios in which you'll buy. And I mean now technical analysis. Give me 3 different technical patterns that would make you want to buy this. For example, yesterday's double bottom higher high. Are you buying that dip? Right? But that's how I want you to trade, guys. Trade like you are a fund manager. Trade like you're big. Trade like you're smart. Right? So right now this doesn't look bullish, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't look bullish. So be very, very cautious. Maybe wait. Maybe don't trade today, right? And then second of all, is selling at the weekly target a good idea? No. But if you were a bear, this is ridiculously straightforward, guys. That's like me asking you to recite the ABCs. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, right? So, if you know how to swing trade, you know, that's in there. It's a little too high and all that kind of stuff, but you're a bear, bro. You're a bear, right? You're only looking to sell. There's stuff going in there that can make you want to sell. Is this a good place to sell? That's not, no, it's not, okay? So you had your chance, like, what's all the risk taking for now? You're like, well, the Earth did a rotation and I'm supposed to make another trade. Is that true? Every planetary rotation, every right? You need to, every spin of the rock, you need a new trade. Okay, maybe not, right? Maybe not. Let's go surfing now. Everybody's learning now. Come on now, safari with me. CAD yen. Okay, oil's not moving, human god. Why do you want CAD yen? And you want to take this up or down? Yeah, it looks more down to me than up. Okay. So this gray area I've already defined as an area of concern. This is the weekly top. Okay. And there's a monthly pivot. So it might go up further, but it ain't going to be easy, right? It could, you know, if things go really well for this pair today, it's going to go to the weekly R2, stretch out to the monthly M4, and then end near 87. Okay. But what's going to make it move? So, but let's say that's your plan. Okay, so your plan now is to snap up to here and then take your profit, obviously, and expect it to come back. So that's a 4 hour. Can we do something here? Right. So the opportunity was at London Open, or even earlier. This boat might have already sailed. If you're trading it as a bull, this boat may have already sailed. So maybe that's what you're asking me about. But I find that there's tons of resistance, right? So let's go back. Why did I say it was resistance? Okay. Oh, yeah, in here. Yeah, you see that? Okay. So that doesn't look good to me, and that's why I drew this. I'm not even sure when I drew it, but I bet you it was, I mean, the beginning of the week, right? So all this whatever, all the news has come out now. So if this is your trade plan, you know, you need to be setting up your opportunity, right? Okay. So pick your lines if you're still a bull, guys. Let's try it this way. Are you going to buy this gray area? Are you going to buy, here's your sweet spot in here. There's pivots in here. Is there a psych level? Are you going to buy it at 86, for example? Okay? Is that what you want? See? That's what you need to be deciding. Okay? These scalpers will get out. Are they going to take it down to 86? It may not even make 86. So you need to have your plan. Develop your plan. Cool. So let's take a look at this. We've got to go daily here. Okay. So how do you want to trade that? Do I have that support drawn properly? Chuck, I enter those trades fairly easy, very quickly. So I don't think I've ever, waiting for a 1 hour 5A cross could take 8 hours. So if your analysis tells you the 5/8 is going to cross in 8 hours, then drop into a 15-minute trade that 5/8 cross. And now your stop is close and you can manage the risk. Is it a good idea to practice this swing trading on daily pivots? No, because that's day trading, not swing trading. Okay. Okay, so therefore, if you buy it low, where's it going to go? Or do you simply buy the next dip? How are you going to play this? The most important thing here is you declare whether, oh, sorry, this is Kiwi yen. So, again, let me go through this. The most important thing is that you've done your analysis. Is this a bullish opportunity that might last a reasonable amount of time? Is this a turning point? Well, it'll either drop below and it'll fall for weeks, if not months, or it's going to go up like at least to here, but probably higher. Could this go from 75 to 85? It's easy to remember. So anyways, if your opinion is this may be an important bounce, then you need to start creating your trade plan. Are you buying a dip? Are you buying a double bottom? Are you going to buy in this? Are you going to stay in it? Right? The monthly target right now is 79. Are you going to take it to 79? So that's a plan. So that's your strategy now. Your strategy is it's bouncing at support. It's going to go up to the resistance. So now you could say because you're closer to support than resistance, you're a bull. And you drop your time frame now from daily or 1 hour, whatever, right? And you start buying dips. You start using price action. You start using daily pivots. You start using psychological levels. Okay? And now you're trading the 15-minute chart and 1 hour chart, not 4 hour daily. Your technical analysis just puts you in at prices that you are favorable. The technical analysis only identifies levels of support and resistance for you. Okay. So if you had noticed that at the beginning of the week where we were, right? Then that tells you, like, for example, that bottom predicts this top. So that's all. We're supposed to be done for the week, right? So you're really setting up next week's trades. Cool. So what if we change the template again? Okay. This morning, this was your buy zone. And your aggressive target is here, the price we're at now. It's not a fund. I can tell you right away, the language you're using, they're not a fund. They're not licensed and registered as a hedge fund. You're not becoming a limited partner because you invested $500. It's a managed program at best, but even that I doubt. All right. So any situation where someone says, give me your $500, I'll invest it for you. It's just not right, man. It's just not right. It sounds like predatory sales nonsense. All right. Cool. All right. Look what's happened at levels of resistance. So you have to decide. We're getting pretty close to the 86. Are you a buyer? For everyone that said this was going to go up, right? People just 20 minutes ago told me this was going to go up to the weekly pivot. In fact, maybe even to the monthly pivot. Great. So did you buy the dip? Are you buying the 4 hour 21? Are you buying the roll reversal? Are you buying the psych level? Like, it's all there if you're a buyer. Right? So the 21, as you should know, is a dynamic level of support. 86 is in here. We're at the 3A2. You have permission. If that's your trade plan that you wanted 20 minutes ago, you have your opportunity. You'll say, well, Wayne, everything's changed in the last 20 minutes. My bias is out the window. Retail sales were not the... Dude, retail sales is a news event. It's not fundamentals. Okay? Bulls got this one. Very nice. This is nice trading in here. Okay. So you see we have two things going on here. One of the things we were talking about, and this might have been last week when I drew this stuff, guys, or early in the week. But what is that? Be careful. I got so many construction crews going on right now. I don't know what that was. Oh. Might be kid related. Hang on. Cool. So let's rehash what's going on here. We had this trapped in consolidation because last week it wasn't bullish or bearish at all last week. Okay? So how do you trade it? So we trapped it, right? We said the trend continues and you sell, but it's not a good sell zone. That's not really a good sell zone, but you could because it's resistance. And the recovery of the previous trend takes over, and it's you know, you want to get in earlier than what you see here. So maybe we might have done this on Monday before it even rallied up, but in fact, you know what? I did this last Friday, so I think this was looking into the future. It hadn't rallied up yet, but anyways, what you want is the M3 to move down, right? Not the R1. But the other thing you can see here, so I said if these bulls from the previous week stay in the trade, it's a breakout pullback scenario. And you can let it break out if you feel uncomfortable buying in what has been previously a downtrend. Right? So it's like, how do you set it up? You either sell it and hope the trend continues, which is actually on the long run more likely. The trend is more likely to continue than reverse. But if you were going to be a buyer in a bearish market, it might have been the conversation. I think what I've done here is on a whole different day, in a whole different speech, in whole different market conditions, on an entirely different currency pair, I was trying to explain to you that if you were a bull and you thought the market was bearish, how do you get into the trade? And do you see how that's the double bottom higher high scenario? It's not a perfect one, but they're never often. No, I should say they're often not perfect. Sometimes they are perfect. But it's the whole patience idea, right? So does this mean it's going to go up now? Well, we're going to run into fib wars. I wouldn't call this trending up yet because there's a higher high. So you still have to ask yourself, where are the bears going to sell? I think if you touch this 150 area, and I think we just did, bears are going to come in. Yeah, we're 50 to 100 pips away from serious selling. Okay. But what if we start getting through that level? What if over the next 2 weeks, guys, you start to see price action like this? We're climbing and climbing and climbing. I think it's going to be a tough climb. Huh? But maybe we can work our way up to this 53, 153. Pound yen. Okay, so you look at this and you make a decision. What do you want to do? If you're a bear, right? A cake sniffing bear, you need to start selling soon. Where are you going to sell? Come on, bears, where are you going to sell? How about the weekly top? How about the 618? Or sorry, 50%. Okay. That's the 50%. Since fibs are subjective, people are also going to measure it there. And so that's the bigger swing 382. So let me ask you now. Will a bear sell this? Is that enough resistance for a bear? Yeah. Are you guys saying that YouTube's encoding this in low res? Is this coming out low res? Because I'm broadcasting high res. And you know what? I'm actually looking at the YouTube thing. I can see it clearly. Oh, it keeps changing. So maybe it's your resolution area or your settings. I have mine quality. And let's see if I put it at 720. So it looks like it's coming out at 720p. It goes in and out. All right. So I'll tell you what. One of the things I was thinking about doing is updating the software. Over the weekend, and we'll see if I can. The new version of the software has like an auto tuning suggestion tool, and maybe it'll make the changes. I think it interacts with YouTube a little bit better. So, well, anyways, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for all the great questions, guys. Okay. Honestly, thank you for the great interaction and all that. Really, really good questions. If you're my swing trading group, we'll meet in 20 minutes in the swing trading room. Okay. We'll get that done. We'll plan out our 300 pip trades. Yeah, Joe's cursing USD. Yeah, patience, grasshopper, patience. So anyways, thank you very much for being a client of Traders Way. If you haven't done so yet, please visit tradersway.com and open up a demo account. Okay? And I am planning to do some special events in the next 2 or 3 weeks. for demo and live account holders of Traders Way. Maybe some giveaways, maybe something fun and cool. I got some ideas, got some planning to do. And if you want to be involved and invited and all that, just zip over to tradersway.com, open up a demo account, take you a minute, right? VIP status. Yeah, you can join my mastermind group. But anyways, I mean, like, come on, man. Zip over, open that demo account, and hopefully we have an opportunity to do something special and unique together. And wait for an email. Yeah, I got to come up with a plan, right? But that's something I want to do. So I'm just going to do it. I can't wait to see what I come up with, but I'm going to come up with something neat. I was thinking about maybe, well, I got all kinds of interesting things, right? Some sort of training, maybe a scalp camp or something. I don't know. Depends. So anyways, got to jump, babe. It was real. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And thank you again for everything that you do. Let me just tell you, from one trader to another, it's worth it. Oops, it's worth it. See you on Monday.